We're back in the sandy surrounds of Zandvoort in the Netherlands. It's the 7th event of the FIA Formula 3 Championship, and at every event the technical regulations of the car will be checked rigorously.
Hello, I'm Robert Maas, FIA Technical Delegate for the Formula 3 European Championship, and I'm responsible together with my colleagues for the scrutineering of the complete championship. As you can see, after the qualifying and the races, all cars go to Parc Fermé to be scrutineered. First thing is we get the drivers to the scales to check their weight, not to wait for the drivers until the complete car is weighed. After all drivers have been weighed, we get the cars on the scales, drain the car, because the minimum weight of 565 kilograms is without fuel, but with driver. Most important thing is obviously the weight, so that's standard checks after every session. Second thing, which is also very important, is the restrictor, because clearly the more air you have, the more power you get out of the engine. So we check the diameter of the restrictor. Our main component is the flat patch you can see, where the main dimensions of the cars are checked. So the cars are lowered on the reference plane, which defines our reference for height measurements. The cars are sitting on the ground floor on the three pins you can see. And from there on we check the dimensions of the front wing, rear wing, floor, all the things which are attached to the car. So now we can see here the checks for the floor of the car. First thing is we put weight on the floor just to avoid any flexible constructions. And second thing is we check the minimum height of the floor, which has to be 50 millimeters plus minus 3 millimeters. So for the rear wing we have a maximum overhang with the reference to the rear wheel center line and a maximum height of 860 millimeters above the reference plane. Summarizing, we can say that we're working together with the teams, not against them. They appreciate any effort we take to ensure fair competition, even if it does mean more work for them. For us, the situation is that we're not the police, but the referees.
In Zandvoort, the autograph session is a good chance for the fans to pick up some souvenirs from the young guns. This year, there is only one lady among the drivers, Tatiana Calderon from Colombia.
Hello, my name is Tatiana Calderon and I'm the only girl racing in the FIA Formula 3 European Championship. But there's many more girls involved in this championship, so let's take a look and see how important their job is to make this show even better. And here we are in a very special place, the team lounge, where we get the healthiest and more delicious food, thanks to a very special girl, Daniela, who is in charge of everything. You know my favorite food?
I think it is pasta with tomato sauce and a lot of pasta.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. She knows me very well, and let's keep moving and see who else works here in the Formula 3 Championship. And here we come to the technical and scrutineering side. You know, every car has to be the same so that it's fair for everyone. So we have Katerina here that checks that every car is the same. You think my car is all right, right?
Yes, that's correct. Your technicians do a very good job.
And now we move to the next female that works here in Formula 3. Let's have a look. And here we come to a very, you know, every team needs a press release person in charge. We have in Prema Power team Angelina in charge of everything. What would be the best headline looking up for the next race?
For the next race, the best headline for us would obviously be Felix Rosenqvist winning the race.
I think I need to disagree on that. Maybe Tatiana winning a first race in Formula 3?
We can talk about it if you want. We can very well negotiate between women and motorsport.
I think we can get a deal. And we're here in the office of the Formula 3 European Championship with Brita, who's in charge of all the press releases. Brita, I wanted to ask you, did you have time to visit the beach here in Zandvoort?
I wish I had the time to go to the beach. Unfortunately, very busy here, so I haven't managed to go there yet, but we're probably going to have time on Monday.
Oh, that's cool. I may join you then. Maybe we have something to celebrate after a few good races. And we're here in Team Signature, one of my opponents, and we have a female engineer who has a really important job, Maria Liz. How do you find it to work, you know, with so many guys here?
Oh, it's quite easy. Finally, you just need to bring confidence to them, and with the driver as well. It's very important. So during all the seasons, they just need to little by little start to be confident with you, and then it's not so difficult. It's gonna be easy when the confidence is there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and you know, Signature has been doing well, and now we know why. And here we finish our round with all the females that work in Formula 3. But you know, there are many places available, so if you had fun, come and join us.
Now back to the action. Race 2 is next up with pole sitter Felix Rosenqvist. Also in the field, Petro Fittipaldi, supported by his uncle and former F1 driver,
Zandvoort is a racetrack that has a huge amount of history. You know, great names won here, and just to be able to be on the grid and write your name in the history of this track is something special for all of these kids. So for myself personally, you know, this is a very unique track, you know, very special, and you definitely have goosebumps when you come in here.
Felix Rosenqvist on pole ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi. A chance for revenge for the Swedish driver. A good start, but further down the field, Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll getting into each other, and into the pit wall goes Lance Stroll. An early retirement for the young Canadian, and that brings out the safety car. So, after the replay, Marcus Pommer, an abnormal change of direction is the steward's decision. That was the cause of the accident, and a 20-second penalty at the end
fully
of
to
his
the
race.
left, and then I went back to the middle, and for the steward it was like a zigzagging, but for me I avoided a crash, and then I went back in the middle, and the crash happened like 1-2 meters behind me. I didn't know about the crash, and suddenly at 6 o'clock they said I have to go to the stewards, and I was wondering why, what the heck. And that's why I was a bit angry.
Preparing for the restart, Felix Rosenqvist accelerating after the chicane, but there's still a safety car leaving the track. And if you see a scary situation for the leader, Felix Rosenqvist. Disaster narrowly avoided. Felix Rosenqvist led the field across the line. Charles Leclerc in the gravel. Maybe a legacy from the damage of that start line contact with Lance Stroll, and that brought out another safety car. Leclerc guided to the medical car for checkup, as is protocol. Team principal Fritz van Amersfoort with a disappointed reaction. After Leclerc's car is craned away, the lap 9 restart. Again taken well by Felix Rosenqvist. This time Antonio Giovinazzi tries to attack on the outside of the Tarzanville corner. Slipstream, Antonio Giovinazzi trying to outbrake the race leader into turn 1. But he has to tuck in behind the Swede and settle for plan B. the final lap, Felix Rosenqvist with a comfortable lead over Antonio Giovinazzi. Through the last corner to score his 6th career Formula 3 victory in Zandvoort, followed closely by Giovinazzi in 2nd.
In the restarts, it was the first restart. There was like some vehicle on the track, which was so I couldn't make the restart where I wanted, because then I would go into that car. So he was very close. And then in the second restart, I made a small mistake in the chicane, and he was again quite close. I had to defend a bit, but I think normally it's not really a problem, because as long as you go to the right side, you will be safe. And then I think the pace was just unbelievable. We managed to pull away more than 1 second in the first lap, and then I could just control everything really easily.
With P1 after the first corner, is take the 90% of victory. And yeah, I had the possibility in the second safety car restart, where I was quite close to Felix, but I tried to overtake from offside, but was really dirty line there, and I lose 1.5 seconds after in this lap.
Yeah, we had a clutch issue in the first race, which caused a jump start. But no, obviously we bounced back in that one, had a really good start. I almost did Giovinazzi around the outside, but it wasn't quite to be. And then yeah, from there on, it was just driving around. It's almost impossible to overtake here. So it's just a case of making sure I didn't make any mistakes.
A good, strong finish from Jake Dennis to join his Prema Power teammate at the podium. Marcus Pommer lost 4th with his 20-second penalty, meaning he finished 21st. We'll have more action from race 3. Stay with us.